Hi guys, and welcome to our energy outlook for the week of April 6th to April 12th. So what we're doing today is we're using our Cosmic Tarot and we're taking a look at the energy, both based on our tarot cards as well as astrology speaking. Now when we take a look at next week, we do have the Libra full moon that happens on April 7th. So that's on Tuesday, and that will be illuminated by the powerful and fiery Aries sun. So the energetic high point of April's lunar cycle for completions and endings, right? So basically, it's the best time of the year to bring personal or business relationship to a successful conclusion. So releasing, letting go, finding a happy medium. Now you have to definitely be careful with this Libra full moon because it's a little bit tricky because it comes with a dangerous once a year Mars-Uranus square that will bring accidents, violent attacks, and sudden and unplanned terminations or separations, right? So definitely remind yourself to breathe deeply during this full moon and focus on finding your balance point. Balance is key. Now, this Libra full moon marks the end of Lent and previous Easter Sunday on April 12th. And Mercury extended tour in Pisces finally ends on Saturday, April 11, when it finally moves into Aries. So this passage into fiery Aries means that communications speed up and become less emotional and more spontaneous for the next 4 weeks. So this kind of like miscommunication that we have going on. Mercury is finally ending its vacation in Pisces, so this will soon feel a little bit lighter. So let's go ahead now and use the Cosmic Tarot. This is a deck that I've been using non-stop on Instagram for the card of the day as well as on Facebook. I've had this deck for about 10 years. It was sleeping for a good 3 years and it finally woke up and now I cannot have enough of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out 4 cards and we're going to see what we should focus on. Now for hair talk today, there's not really much going on, but there is, right? So I'm not bleaching my hair any longer. I busted for the last time last Sunday and I removed all of the bleach. So I literally went in and busted with 0 guard. So no guard at all. It is growing pretty fast. My goal is, which I might lie here, but it's my goal and we all know what wishful thinking's like. So my goal here is to let my hair grow for the next year or so without dyeing it. As you can see, we already see the gray pattern, so we'll see how much patience I have. Now, I did receive a few wigs. I love playing with them, but they're not my thing. They're really uncomfortable, and I can't even stand my own hair, so my daughter, let's just say my little girl, is having fun with her new hair. So let's go ahead and finish shuffling our deck, and now we are just receiving messages as a collective for next week. So let's go ahead and take a look because we do see that we have a very fiery energy coming in next week. So now we begin with the Hermit, and the Hermit is next to the Tower. So this is like a very big message here. When we see the Hermit right now, it's really time for you to go within. Any doubts that you have, any questions that you have, any guidance that you're seeking, you need to go within. Right now, it's not the time to open yourself up into really soaking up energy around you. The collective energy is in total fear mode. So what we're going to be finding outside of ourselves is a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of mixed match information right now to find your center and to find your ground. You definitely want to go within. As you can see, the next card is showing what the collective is going through right now, which is an unknown time. We see chaos, we see upheaval, we see things changing. We almost feel the uncertainty of things. So seeing these two together, they combine perfectly because right now during this time, right, of changes, of not knowing what's happening, the best thing to do is go within and find the guidance that you seek. How do you do this? You can go into meditation. You can use guided meditation, binaural beat meditation, even Reiki music in the background. Just work with your breath. The goal of meditation is to work with your breath. It's not to try to quiet your mind. It's not none of that. Right now, you may be feeling this. This is why your sleepless nights may be there. A lot of becoming prisoner more of the what if, right? So right now, to find your center and find inner peace, you are being guided to go within. Now, the next one that we see is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is on reverse. What this means is that when we have the collective like this, when we have the energy of the Tower and our energy is all over the place, we lose touch a lot with our intuition. So when we see the reverse High Priestess, to me, this card is speaking of finding the center that you're being guided with the Hermit, so you can connect once again with your gut feeling. So if you're feeling disconnected, it's not that you've lost your gifts or anything like that. It means that there's a lot of overthinking happening. Now, this is not a negative thing. Remember, all of these things are neutral in energy. So if I know I'm overthinking, I'm going to bring in meditation to bring myself to center, also working with selenite and amethyst. Now, what I want you to look at is these two cards that came together. We have the reverse High Priestess and we have the reverse Four of Swords. So what we're seeing here is you're not getting enough rest. Either your mind is wandering, and when I say rest, this doesn't mean sleep. The swords represents our thoughts. So there's some overthinking happening, which, like I said, do not see that as negative. You're just reacting to energy and to situations that we cannot control, right? So when we see this, this is not about you're not getting enough physical sleep. This is more about you're not resting enough. What this means is that you may be sitting down with your book. You may be pretending to read that book, but later on you have to go back because you have no idea what you just read because your mind is overthinking. So because of this overthinking, and it's just taking us down that prison of thoughts, we're not really tuning in to our intuition. So how do we change this? A lot of self-love, a lot of compassion, a lot of learning to be in the stillness, a lot of detaching yourself from your expectations that you have and allowing yourself to slowly trust the ebb and flow. Any answers that you seek, you want to go within. Right now, it's not the time to fill yourself up with so much that's out there because you're going to end up here in an overthinking mode, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull the last card, and this is from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. And once again, I've had this deck for some years since it came out, and it finally woke up, so I'm very grateful for that. So let's go ahead and take a look. Look at that. So how beautiful. So the main energy that you're dealing with next week is to find your inspiration. I totally agree when I see this card, especially when we see the Hermit saying go within, and we see that a lot of overthinking is causing our intuition connection to kind of be a little bit slower. So how do we change this is find inspiration, whether it's around you, whether it's in nature, whether it's drawing, whether it's creating, whatever it is that you do, you definitely want to tune into creativity, because creativity acts like the greatest form of therapy, at least for myself. So basically, as you could see, we're still dealing with those high emotions. We're still dealing with an overthinking mind, but this is all as it should be. So I don't want you guys to label your anxiety, your depression, anything like that. I don't want you guys to label this as negative. I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, there's no room for depression, there's no room for anxiety, but the truth to be told, and you know that I say it as it is, depression and anxiety are part of an everyday thing that we're dealing with. So instead of labeling yourself in any way, just remind yourself you are reacting, right, to what's happening. And whatever reaction you're happening, it's okay. You're allowed to feel this way, right? So instead of saying, oh, I gotta go against this, feel what you're feeling and then work with yourself slowly, with compassion, with patience, with taking it at your own step, right? So I know that everybody here is going to have an amazing, amazing week. We've extended our sale. Our Astera sale has been happening for the last 2 weeks. You guys have kept me so busy. I personally wanted to thank everybody. Right now, I am booked for readings all the way till mid-May. And when I say I'm booked, I am literally booked. So if you're going to schedule your reading, you are going to fall into my mid-August. You're going to fall into my mid-August to late August. This could easily change in a few days where I might already be in my September. I know it is a long wait, but every single one of my clients will tell you that it happens when it needs to happen, right? Another thing that we have is 33% off candles and things in the shop using code SPRING, 15% off readings, which are already lowered to 35, so your readings come out at like 26, and that's using code blossom and 40% off our workshops, and that is using code ASTERA. So I will see everybody next week. Lots of love and light to you. I love you, and blessed be. Bye-bye.